Have you ever wondered how the Romans, over 2,000 years ago, managed to create such grand works that still defy time? If you feel that modern innovations often fail to last or impress, get ready to uncover the secrets of Roman engineers. They revolutionized the world with ideas that continue to inspire us. And now you'll gain access to this incredible knowledge that can transform how you see engineering, construction, and even the future. Let's uncover these timeless lessons together. Picture yourself marching with the Roman legions under the relentless heat of the sun, the sound of military sandals echoing on the hard ground. You're surrounded by strong, determined men, all ready to face battles. But among them, there's a different group. They don't just carry swords. In their hands are tools, measurements, and ideas that will change the course of history. These men, hidden among the common soldiers, were the Roman engineers, the true wizards of construction who helped build the great Roman Empire. Now imagine the following scene. The legion commander is observing his recruits, young and inexperienced. He walks among them sharp-eyed, looking for more than just strength or courage. Suddenly he notices something special in a soldier. Maybe it's the way he precisely calculates the size of a trench, or how quickly he understands how to assemble a basic structure. This soldier has just been noticed. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to be promoted to an immunis, one of the army's engineers. Being an immunis was an honor. These men weren't just spared from heavy labor, like digging trenches or carrying wood. They also bore much greater responsibility. Every bridge that needed to span a dangerous river, every road connecting distant cities, or every fortification built in the middle of enemy territory relied on their skilled hands. Even without formal engineering training, these soldiers turned Rome's vision into reality. Have you ever tried to unravel what made Rome the greatest empire in the world, but got lost in a flood of details? Don't worry, you're not alone. Imagine finally mastering the most decisive moments in Roman history, learning the brilliant strategies of generals like Julius Caesar and Scipio Africanus, and understanding how their tactics shaped the world's destiny. With this in mind, I created the digital book, The 10 Battles That Shaped the Roman Empire, where you'll gain access to a clear, objective analysis filled with exclusive insights. Discover how Rome won battles once deemed impossible and become a true expert in Roman military history. Don't waste any time. Click on the pinned comment and secure your copy right now. Grab it before it's gone. But how did someone become an engineer in the Roman army? There were no formal schools or detailed manuals. Learning happened on the battlefield, with hands dirty from soil and minds sharpened by the need to innovate. Many engineers started as simple soldiers, learning by watching and helping with construction. Those who already had experience as craftsmen or builders before enlisting were quickly identified and trained to lead the most challenging projects. Now, imagine yourself in the position of these men. The army advances through mountainous terrain, where the only path to victory depends on crossing a river blocking the route. The engineers are called. There's no time to waste. They study the site, calculate the weight of the troops, and design a bridge that must withstand the raging current. The work is arduous, the pressure immense, but they succeed. The bridge is completed in days, and thanks to it, the legion advances. These moments of ingenuity weren't just practical feats. They became legends within the army. Even with so much talent and effort, the engineers never ceased to be soldiers. In times of war, they took up arms and fought side by side with other legionaries. They were the embodiment of the Roman motto of utility and discipline, men prepared to build and destroy, to create and defend. Their contribution was invisible to many but essential to all. These engineers not only paved the way for the army, they paved the history of Rome. Every road crossing the empire, every aqueduct carrying water to the cities, every fortification protecting the borders, stood as a testament to their skill and dedication. Thus, while their works remain immortal marks of Rome's greatness, their story still beats, ready to be told. And this is just the first part of the story. What comes next reveals even more about the genius of these engineers who, alongside their fellow soldiers, built the foundation of an empire that will never be forgotten. Before continuing, I noticed you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. You won't want to miss all the content about Rome we bring every week. The selection of Roman engineers was conducted with extreme care and strategy, reflecting the discipline and organization characteristic of the Roman army. Each commander bore the responsibility of observing his soldiers beyond the obvious, searching for hidden talents that could be crucial to the success of military campaigns. It wasn't just about strength or combat skills, it was about identifying men with practical vision, logical reasoning, and technical abilities in areas like geometry, construction, and planning. During the army's routines, commanders assessed the performance of their recruits in daily tasks. Those who showed ease in calculating measurements, understanding the logic behind constructions, or aligning structures precisely quickly stood out. This kind of talent was highly valued because it could transform challenges into practical solutions on the battlefield. Additionally, patience and meticulousness, essential qualities for a good engineer, were carefully observed. Many engineers joined the army with prior experience in professions such as craftsmen, masons, or surveyors. These men brought practical knowledge that eased their adaptation to the army's technical demands. However, even those without prior experience received rigorous and detailed training. Learning went far beyond combat, encompassing techniques for measuring terrain, planning roads, building fortifications, and even maintaining infrastructure. The training was essentially practical, often conducted in real-life situations amid the heat of campaigns. Recruits learned to use instruments like the groma, which allowed them to measure and align terrain with precision. They also learned how to design roads capable of withstanding the constant traffic of troops and goods, how to adjust slopes to facilitate movement, and how to anticipate the impact of natural factors such as rain and flooding. Road construction, one of the Roman engineers' most iconic tasks, required more than physical strength. It demanded an understanding of the soil, preparing a solid foundation, and layering various materials to ensure durability. Paved roads, particularly those near cities, were designed to withstand time and constant use. Each stage of the process was supervised by the engineers, who ensured the quality of every stone laid. Another crucial aspect of these engineers' work was the construction of fortifications. They were responsible for designing walls, watchtowers, fortified gates, and drainage systems that protected the troops and kept the camps functional. The efficiency of these fortifications was vital, especially in unfamiliar terrain or under the threat of enemy attacks. The walls had to be high and resilient, the gates easy to defend, and the towers allowed for a broad strategic view. Furthermore, these engineers often had to improvise in emergency situations. Imagine an army marching and encountering an impassable river or a flooded area. The engineers were tasked with creating quick solutions, such as temporary wooden bridges or improvised drainage systems. Each project was a testament to their technical skill and ability to adapt. The selection and training process of Roman engineers reflected the practical mindset of the Roman Empire. More than soldiers, they were seen as essential components for building and maintaining Roman dominance. Without their ability to turn plans into reality, the legion's advance would have been impossible. These men, often anonymous, left behind a monumental legacy, roads, fortifications, and infrastructure that still showcase the genius of Roman craftsmanship today. Many people say that Rome was the cradle of engineering, architecture, surveying, and construction. Tell me in the comments if you think modern constructions were inspired by it. I'd love to hear your opinion. Imagine walking through the bustling streets of ancient Rome. Ornate fountains gush crystal clear water, public baths are filled with citizens enjoying moments of leisure, and the farmlands beyond the city walls are lush and thriving. Behind this grand vision lies a secret, the tireless work of hydraulic engineers, true masters of harnessing and directing the lifeblood that sustained the entire empire, water. These engineers weren't just builders, they were visionaries. Their primary mission was to ensure that every drop of water traveled efficiently and safely over miles, crossing challenging terrains, mountains, valleys, and densely populated cities. To achieve this, they designed the famous aqueducts, structures that stood out not only for their architectural beauty, but also for their unparalleled functionality. Each aqueduct was carefully sloped, with an almost imperceptible gradient, allowing water to flow continuously by gravity. A mistake in these calculations could cause the entire system to fail, resulting in floods or leaving a city without water. In addition to aqueducts, these engineers were responsible for cisterns, massive reservoirs where water was stored for dry periods or to supply specific areas such as public baths and decorative fountains. These reservoirs were designed with impressive techniques to prevent leaks, using advanced materials for the time, such as waterproof mortar. Nothing was left to chance, as clean and safe water was an essential resource. Among the most famous hydraulic engineers was Sextus Julius Frontinus, a man whose name is synonymous with excellence in water resource management. When he took on the role of water commissioner, Rome faced severe problems: neglected aqueducts, leaks wasting precious water supplies, and illegal diversion by farmers and merchants. Frontinus, with his strategic vision, immediately set out to resolve these issues. He created detailed maps of the water systems, a crucial innovation for monitoring and maintaining the aqueduct network. He also established strict regulations to protect the supply, such as using lead seals on pipes to track owners and combat illegal diversions. The challenges didn't stop there. Leaks in underground conduits were a frequent and difficult problem to solve. Locating these leaks required meticulous inspections and often quick repairs to prevent the entire system from collapsing. But Frontinus wasn't just an administrator, he was a problem solver. He oversaw repairs, implemented new maintenance techniques, and introduced improvements that ensured the system operated flawlessly for decades. The genius of Roman hydraulic engineers lay in their ability to plan not just for the present, but for the future. They ensured that water reached not only the elites but also the common citizens, strengthening urban infrastructure and enabling Rome to continue thriving as the center of the ancient world. Every fountain you see in the ruins of Rome, every remaining stretch of an aqueduct, serves as a silent reminder of their skill, dedication, and ingenuity. Before continuing, I noticed you forgot to like the video. Help us keep bringing more content about Rome by giving it a thumbs up. Roman surveyors were essential figures in the operation and expansion of the vast Roman Empire. They were responsible for measuring and mapping land with precision, ensuring that every road, city, or land division was planned functionally and efficiently. Their work was crucial for the organization of colonies, military logistics, and the integration of new regions into the empire. Using simple yet incredibly effective tools like the Groma eye, surveyors laid out straight lines and perfect intersections, allowing complex projects to be executed with precision. This instrument, consisting of a cross-shaped structure with suspended weights, was used to align land and ensure that roads and constructions were designed with symmetry and functionality. This technical work wasn't merely an aesthetic detail, but a practical necessity that directly influenced the efficiency of all Roman infrastructure. When a new region was conquered, surveyors were called in to organize the territory. They analyzed the land, marked agricultural plots, and planned urban areas. To do this, they considered factors such as soil fertility, proximity to water resources, and the need for defense against potential attacks. Lands were carefully divided into plots for farming, residences, and infrastructure, ensuring that each colony was economically sustainable and strategically positioned. The role of surveyors was even more evident in the construction of Rome's famous roads. Before the first stone blocks were laid, they plotted routes that crossed mountains, rivers, and other natural obstacles, minimizing detours. This meticulous planning ensured that roads efficiently connected Roman provinces, facilitating the movement of troops, goods, and information. Furthermore, they ensured that roads were designed to withstand long periods of heavy use, employing durable materials and advanced drainage systems to prevent water damage. In a military context, surveyors played a vital role in selecting locations for camps. They assessed the topography, proximity to potable water sources, and natural defenses of the terrain. A well-chosen site could determine the success of a campaign, while a poor choice could lead to disaster. A notable example was the campaign against the Cimbri, where a poorly chosen campsite compromised the Roman troops' access to water, creating a critical problem for the army. Beyond roads and camps, surveyors were indispensable in the delineation and planning of Roman cities. Their measurements and maps ensured that each city was logically organized, with aligned streets and carefully divided spaces to meet commercial, administrative, and residential needs. This urban planning reflected the order and discipline characteristic of the Roman Empire. Despite their skills and precision, surveyors faced many challenges. Rugged terrain, changing weather conditions, and tight deadlines were just some of the obstacles they regularly encountered. Even minor errors in their measurements could cause significant problems, such as construction delays, increased costs, or compromised efficiency in military and civilian operations. The legacy of Roman surveyors is impressive. The roads they helped design still exist in many parts of Europe, serving as a testament to their technical skill and long-term vision. Their detailed maps and meticulous planning were fundamental to the organization of colonies and the administration of conquered regions. Without their work, the Roman Empire would have faced great difficulties in maintaining its vastness and efficiency. The precision and dedication of the surveyors were pillars that supported the empire and secured its place in history. And don't forget to grab your digital book, 10 Battles That Shaped the Roman Empire. It's very important to get your copy right now before the units run out. Imagine the sound of waves crashing against the hull of a large Roman ship as the wind fills the sails and an entire fleet moves in perfect synchrony. These ships were not just means of transportation, they were symbols of Roman supremacy over the seas. Behind each vessel and every port was the meticulous and brilliant work of naval engineers, the true architects of Rome's maritime power. These engineers had the monumental task of designing ships that were durable, fast and functional for different purposes. Triremes, for instance, were mainly used in naval combat. Light and agile, they could carry up to 170 rowers, each working in harmony to maneuver the ship and strike the enemy with a sharp bronze ram on the prow. Larger and more robust quinqueremes, on the other hand, were floating fortresses, carrying soldiers and weapons ready to dominate the seas. What made these vessels so impressive was not only their functionality, but also the method by which they were constructed. Naval engineers began by carefully selecting materials: oak for the main structure due to its durability, and pine for lighter, more flexible components. Each piece was cut and fitted precisely, reinforced with bronze nails that resisted corrosion caused by salt water. This meticulous construction process ensured that the ships could withstand not only rough seas, but also the challenges of battle. In addition to ships, naval engineers were responsible for designing ports that sustained the maritime infrastructure of the empire. Imagine the port of Ostia, at the mouth of the Tiber River, a masterpiece of engineering. This port was the main gateway for goods entering Rome, supplying the city with food, raw materials, and luxury items. To ensure Ostia functioned efficiently, engineers built reinforced docks, grain storage warehouses, and breakwaters that protected the harbor entrance from waves. Another notable example was the port of Julius in Campania, designed as a strategic military base. It was not merely an anchorage, but a maritime fortress with canals and internal harbors that allowed for the quick and organized movement of fleets. This port was crucial during the civil wars, enabling Roman naval forces to reorganize and maintain control over the sea. The challenges faced by naval engineers went beyond ship and port design. They had to contend with the unpredictable forces of nature. To address this, they developed innovative techniques such as building breakwaters with submerged concrete made from volcanic ash that hardened underwater. These structures protected the ports and ensured that ships remained safe even during storms. The impact of this work was immense. With their strategically located ships and ports, Rome could quickly transport troops wherever they were needed, consolidating control over distant territories. Maritime trade also flourished, fueling the empire's economy and bringing wealth from all corners of the known world. Roman naval engineers were not just builders, they were visionaries. They transformed the potential of water into a powerful force for the Roman Empire. Their creations, many of which can still be seen today, are a testament to the talent and innovation that defined their era. Roman bridge engineers were essential to the expansion and operation of the Roman Empire. They designed and constructed both permanent and temporary bridges, ensuring the mobility of troops, the transport of goods, and the connection between different regions. Their work stood out for their robustness, functionality, and often the speed of their execution. A striking example is Trajan's bridge over the Danube River, built to facilitate military campaigns in Dacia. This bridge combined wood and stone in an extremely sturdy structure. Its piers were driven into the riverbed using advanced techniques to ensure stability against strong currents. The construction was not only efficient, but also symbolized Rome's technical and military prowess. Another emblematic example is the bridge built by Julius Caesar over the Rhine, which showcased the speed and flexibility of Roman engineers. Erected in just 10 days, the bridge was made entirely of wood, using piles deeply driven into the riverbed. This structure allowed Roman troops to cross the Rhine and surprise the Germanic tribes, highlighting the engineers' ability to overcome natural obstacles efficiently. Temporary bridges were a practical solution for military campaigns. They could be built quickly, using boats as a floating base or wooden platforms supported by piles. These bridges were designed to be dismantled and reused in other locations, which was essential for the mobility of legions in unfamiliar terrain. In addition to temporary structures, Roman engineers also designed permanent bridges that connected important regions of the empire. Made of stone, these bridges were built to last for centuries and to withstand the constant traffic of people, animals, and goods. The Milvian Bridge in Rome is an example of durability and planning that can still be observed today. The construction process began with detailed studies of the terrain. Engineers assessed the flow and depth of the river, the characteristics of the soil, and the region's climatic conditions. They calculated the height of the bridge to avoid damage caused by floods and determined the most suitable materials to ensure stability and durability. Every aspect was planned to meet the military and civil needs of the empire. These bridges were not just functional structures. They also represented Rome's power to overcome natural barriers and integrate vast areas under its control. Their construction was a demonstration of ingenuity and organization, essential factors for the success and longevity of the Roman Empire. Imagine a Roman battlefield. On one side, a well-organized army with thousands of soldiers ready to fight. On the other, a fortified city with high walls and determined defenders. Between them is a group of men who do not carry swords or shields, but tools, plans, and calculations. These are the Roman military engineers, the ones responsible for turning obstacles into opportunities and ensuring that the army not only survives, but triumphs. Military engineers played an essential role in any campaign. They were responsible for constructing fortifications to protect the troops, temporary camps to ensure safety during marches, and war machines to challenge enemy defenses. Each project was a combination of science, strategy, and speed, as the legion's success depended on their ability to create solutions under pressure. Fortifications were indispensable for protecting soldiers during campaigns. When the army needed to establish itself in hostile territory, engineers quickly designed walls, moats, and watchtowers to prevent enemy attacks. These structures were built using locally available resources, such as wood and earth, but adhered to rigorous standards that ensured durability and functionality. Some of these temporary fortifications, the famous castra, became permanent and evolved into entire cities such as York in Britain. Temporary camps were also vital. Every night, after a long march, engineers set up a secure space for the troops to rest. These camps were not improvised. They had impeccable organization. Specific areas were designated for soldiers, horses, supply warehouses, and even commanders. Surrounded by palisades and defensive ditches, these camps allowed the army to rest peacefully, knowing they were protected from surprise attacks. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of these engineers' work was the creation of war machines. Equipment like catapults, ballistae, and onagers were true feats of engineering. Each machine was designed to cause maximum damage in the shortest time possible. Catapults, for instance, hurled massive stones at enemy walls or troops, while ballistae launched giant bolts with deadly precision. Onagers, with their large wooden arms, hurled explosive or incendiary projectiles, spreading chaos among the enemy. Building these machines required more than manual skill. Engineers needed to calculate the weight of the projectiles, the required range, and the ideal force for each launch. The design of each piece of equipment was adjusted to the terrain and specific situation, ensuring they were effective and reliable. Additionally, the machines were quickly assembled and disassembled, allowing them to be transported easily from one battlefield to another. During sieges, the creativity of Roman engineers shone even brighter. When a city needed to be taken, they designed siege towers, access ramps, and even underground tunnels. These mobile towers, clad in metal to resist fire, allowed soldiers to attack enemy walls from above. Meanwhile, ramps paved the way for the legions to invade the city, and tunnels undermined defenses, destabilizing walls. Roman engineers also learned from their enemies. During conquests, they observed the technologies used by other peoples and adapted them to improve their own strategies. This ability to innovate and adapt made Roman engineers one of the army's greatest assets. In the end, every fortification raised, every camp set up, and every war machine built was a testament to the genius and determination of military engineers. They were responsible for turning strategies into reality, ensuring that the legions not only faced challenges, but overcame them. And as the legions advanced into new territories, the engineers continued to create and innovate, shaping Rome's military might and leaving a legacy that would echo for centuries. Roman architects were the visionaries behind the public buildings and monuments that still amaze us today. Inspired by the principles of Vitruvius, who saw architecture as the perfect fusion of science and art, these masters planned and oversaw every detail of works that not only served practical purposes, but also represented the grandeur of Rome. Every project began with meticulous planning. Architects studied the terrain, assessed the available materials, and defined proportions based on harmony and functionality. Following Vitruvius's teachings, they combined mathematics, geometry, and aesthetics to create structures that were both beautiful and enduring. The choice of materials, such as marble and Roman concrete, was strategic, ensuring that the structures would withstand the test of time. These professionals did not just design buildings, they supervised every stage of construction. They were present at the construction site, adjusting plans as necessary and ensuring that every stone was in the right place. Monuments like the Pantheon, with its revolutionary dome, and the baths, which combined functionality with luxury, are examples of their unparalleled skill. Roman architects did not build just for the present, they built for eternity. Their works were not merely buildings, they were symbols of Rome's order, power, and culture. Even today, these structures stand as an immortal testament to their genius, inspiring generations to understand that true greatness is built to last. Roman engineers turned ideas into structures that have endured for centuries, revolutionizing the world with their ingenuity. Bridges, aqueducts, fortresses, all created with precision and creativity that continues to inspire today. And remember, whenever you want to learn how Rome became the greatest empire of antiquity, simply check the pinned comment and grab your digital book, 10 Battles That Shaped the Roman Empire. Get it today as supplies are limited. Now, if you want to keep exploring fascinating stories like this and learn more about how the Romans shaped the world, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more incredible stories. See you in the next video.